How goes, you beautiful souls? This is AzRespes, the wizard they call Oz. It has been such a long time on my podcast and on my YouTube channel. I'd like to say welcome, first episode. But let me get at you for a sec. Let me get at y'all. I'm very thrilled and honored to be doing this again. This has been a long time coming, and I'm going to tell you exactly why this has been a long time coming. I'm up here looking at the clock over on my monitor, just making sure everything is all copacetic. But anyway, I've been wanting to do this for so long now. I just didn't know exactly how I wanted to attack, so to speak, or put up, just content, or just the topics and things of that nature. So I took a hiatus. Now, when I say hiatus, this is, yes, my first episode on my YouTube channel, but I haven't put together a podcast in 2 years. I actually took the time and looked at the episodes and things of that nature. I was like, all right, let me see what I had here. And the last episode that I did was in January 4th in 2021. It is now 2023. And yeah, it has been a while. It's like, where the hell have you been? And so much has happened. A lot of ups and a lot of downs. Not going to deny that. Life happens, right? And the irony of my very last episode was called How to Genuinely Be Happy. This is obviously coming fresh off of a horrific 2020, and the world pretty much went backwards, and we're, I guess you could say, in a kind of sense of trying to figure out where they want to go, forward or backwards, whatever. But the whole gist of the show was all about being happy. And I will admit that through my happiness, there was a lot of downtime, a lot of sorrow. And that comes with the price. It comes with the price of not being consistent with what you've been going on, or what you've been leaning towards to make you feel successful, feel rich, feel really complete and whole. Let's give you some quick insight. So my family and I, we moved to another part of Florida, and it's not as nice as where we were beforehand, but the place is bigger because we needed bigger space, families getting bigger and things of that nature. So we moved there, and in addition to us moving, it was just a very difficult time that we could not fully gel in our new environment. And it comes with, it really is fascinating because, again, if the energy is not all matched up, then it's going to trickle on you. It's going to make some type of effect. You're only powerful for so much and so long. You have to obviously try to make the best of it, but also you have to make some adjustments. And we'll say within the 1 year, a lot of trying times, so to speak. I will say that I had some good times. Last year, I competed for my very, very first bodybuilding competition, first time ever, and I placed in 3 different categories, second, third, and fourth, which is awesome. Not taking that away from anything or anybody else that's ever tried this out. If you've never done this before or never done bodybuilding, I will tell you it requires so much discipline and persistence, patience from not only you but your family and all that is involved. So I appreciate and shout out to the people that have been working and training with me. This year, I was looking forward to doing 2 shows. I was going to do 2 shows around my birthday in October, but I decided that I did not want to compete this year, only because there was other things on my mind and other things that I'm in the process of trying to do. So I'm not fully 100% focused, right? Like, you have to be fully there. And I'm not completely there. I'm more so paying attention and focusing on my business, my brand, and my company, and helping people in that realm, in that retrospect, because as much as I can love the gym and be in the gym and do bodybuilding competition, the love and passion still lives with mindfulness, self-care, internet marketing, and that's first and foremost. The health aspect, it came with taking care of myself, right? So that's why I was able to step into the realm, and for me it was, I won't say it was easier, smooth sailing, but it was just one of those things where I stepped into it with already having the mindset of a winner. And when I say the mindset of a winner, I mean my routines have made my mind very powerful to the point where I can go into a situation where it comes time to start cutting. You're limiting your food, your intake, your water intake, things of that nature. It can be detriment to a person. It can be very, very tough, like I said, to your family. Those are involved. So again, I'm very fortunate to the point where I literally take my routines, my habits, everything that builds me up, builds my character up day in and day out. I take it very, very seriously. And that's why I did not know exactly how to approach this podcast or the YouTube in the way that I wanted to, because at the end of the day, I can talk about what I do as far as internet marketing every day, right? I can talk about that, but what I do, a lot of people have no idea what it is. Like, for example, I do SEO, which is search engine optimization. Now, to break that down, it will take some time, but I understand that there are different ways and avenues to explain that to people, and that's going to happen in due time. I want to make sure that it's relatable to people, that people can get the light bulb off in their head when it comes to internet marketing, and it doesn't always have to, be so techie, so to speak. You don't have to throw big words at people. A lot of times people just want to know if it works and how it will benefit them. And that's all they need. And that's a good thing. So that's why I don't want to put too much content out there when it comes to internet marketing. I think it's more so of a point to help people bring out the best in them, right? For example, when I just got done bodybuilding, when I did the contest, I was talking to my sister, and she told me that her and my mom were having some type of conversation, saying, "My God, look how far Oz has come." And it's funny because I actually had to take a step back and think, yeah, I've come a far, far away from where I was in my life. If you haven't heard, if you don't know the story by now, I was in a very, very rough place. Let's say in 2016 and 2017, I was not in a very, very good place. I worked a lot. I stressed myself so bad, and I actually ended up getting sick. I had a seizure, and from all of that, in that incident, I can still, I can still picture it. It's still as clear as day right now of everything that happened and what I was thinking when my eyes were, according to my wife, rolling in the back of my head. I was not fully conscious there, and from that day, I have vowed to really appreciate and enjoy every second of this life that we have been given. To the point where I have a fantastic son. I have a great career, great family. I'm very content with where my life is going right now, and all these thoughts in my mind and all the message that I want to send out there. A lot of that really took a toll on my sister of saying like, man, he's come a long way and I'm very proud of him. You know, they had a moment and I thought it was really cool and I really, really grateful that, you know, a family that supports me in the light of when they talk about me or you know they talk about the legacy and things of that nature. They say a lot more good than bad. All right, that's what we all want, right? We want more good said about us than the negative. Now, in that light, there was some darkness because I was in this month of July. Today is July 10th, and 8 days ago, last year, well, 8 days ago, it was the anniversary of the closest person that knew me on this planet since we were kids, since we literally were yay high. He passed away, and the anniversary of his death was 8 days ago. And for a year, and sometimes I will admit it gets to me. It's still surreal that I know that his physical presence is no longer here, but I still feel him at any given time. His energy is here with me, but I did not know if I wanted to compete because it hurt knowing that he wasn't here. My mind was not in the right place at all. And it took me months to really, harness in the pain. And this past year was the first time where I just really went into the day and accepted, like just knowing that he's not here, but in the same token, understanding that life goes on. He appreciates me believing that way. Especially in our last conversation, we had a really great conversation, and I told him obviously that I would keep his legacy, keep his name alive, and I will continue to do that. So, from the dark comes light, and here we are, 2023. Now, what I talked about before, like I didn't know what I was going to put together on my show because I was all over the place when it came to my podcast. I had a couple of different things I wanted to talk about, and I reached out to a friend of mine, and I was like, I'm trying to find a purpose because we should all have a purpose. We should all like try to destine to figure out what we want to be. What is our passion? What is our love? What is the true essence of what we're giving out there? What is the value that we're supposed to be giving to the world, to the people? And I mean, for me, it's like, well, I do bodybuilding, I work out. I'm a big fan of health, big fan of music. I do internet marketing, I do SEO. But the one thing that I can talk about for hours that a person they told me like, that's it. What's wrong with that? Is being mindful, mindfulness, self-care. And then obviously just, with it talked about being genuinely happy. It was like, okay, I guess I'm on to something. The reason why I was kind of hesitant about it at first is because, again, in the world we live in today, it really messed up a lot. I'm trying real hard to hold back a lot of cursing, but it really just changed a lot of perception. That's the word I'm looking for. Perception on life and how people treat each other and value each other and respect one another. Not to say that opinions aren't cool. Opinions, everybody has an opinion, but it's just one of those things where, I know the course of life and the belief and understanding, and there are so many other people that do as well. It's just that a lot of those people like to put it on the back burner, right? They want to pretend that it's not true, or they don't really care about it, when in hindsight their lives may be in a horrible place. They might have one of the pillars, what we like to call a good life. It's not there, right? So like the pillars of health, wealth, and relationship, right? So maybe they're not fully there in one of those areas, but they don't really harness in on that, making sure that that is at that light. I got news for you. When it comes to those pillars for me, I am doing everything in my power to make sure they stay legitimate. My wife and I, we're so solid, and that will never break. That will never break. I uh, I am one of those people that I always believe in. I always wanted my own family growing up. I've always wanted my own family, and when I was fortunate enough to have my own family, I always said, I said this for years, that I would never abandon my wife. I would never abandon my child. I don't believe in that. Okay, that's just not how that's not how I was built. That's not how I'm built, because I just remember a table full of happiness when I was growing up, and I was a full family. So for me, it starts with you, right? It always starts with you. What do you bring to the table? How do you make someone happy? Things of that nature. So I understand that. Okay, that's why, like my wife, like I she saved my life, and I know that every day she's very very grateful that we're still together and we love each other. Um, Same thing with my son. There's no manual to being a first time father. You only know what you know growing up. You know what I mean? And it it does take a while, especially right now. My son is like, he's in his toddler phase, right? So right now it's like one of those crazy times, and I must admit there have been a lot of grays. There've been a lot of grays that has been formed since he, as he gets older. But it's great, it's awesome, because there are times where I'm like, hey, I don't smile enough, or I can work on my smile with him, or I can act like a big kid, and I'm still looking forward to more days as he grows up. I'm excited to see him in school, and to learn things again, and pass it on to next child, and things of that nature. So relationships are key, man. They're so crucial. And then when it comes to expanding outside of your intermediate family, I will admit that it may be tough. It may be tough for people to interact these days, and things of that nature. But we got to get back to just respecting one another, respecting the human side, not the opinions. Everybody has an opinion, all right? That's great, all right? That's fine, and that's respectable, but we got to get back to who we are as human beings, right? Because we only are here, and this is it, right? This is the physical being of us being here. So why don't you just appreciate that a little bit more, as opposed to someone rubbing you the wrong way, or almost cutting you off in traffic, right? So that's here nor there. Health, again, can't really say so much bad about my health. And same thing with my when it comes to wealth of knowledge, wealth of money, whatever wealth is for you. Keep striving, keep going for it. I am a huge fan of all of these advocates when it comes to the pillars of what we define as a good life. And that's something that I was like, okay, I know what I know that I can talk about that, right? Because the people that I deal with on an everyday basis, I hear the struggles, I see the struggles, I can attest to the people that are stressing out, or those that don't understand that it's like, you may not have that person that's willing to hear you, right? Because nobody wants to really talk about their problems or stress out. They like to keep it inside, and that's not always a cool thing to do, because truth be told, that is a silent killer that kills you. All right, it doesn't matter what age you are. As you get to a certain point, something will snap and happen to the point where you're sick, or you lose your sight or something, because of an internal stress factor that has gotten to you and your health. And then before you know it, time is starting to dwindle down a little bit more, right? So that's why it's key. These things are key to me, and I wanted to share it out there and say like, hey, there's someone out there that knows what you're going through. And as I go on, we'll talk about all these different things like how to deal with fear, how to deal with anxiety, um, self-care in these different areas, being mindful of other areas when it comes to like your career, or if you want to create like a side hustle, or if you want to just take that next step. I'm the person that literally have no problem with keeping it 100% honest with you and telling you like, hey, this is what you need to do, because you're at this stage, right? Believe me, I do it with my nephews. I do it with a lot of people that they don't like when I call them out on their shit. But at the end of the day, it's entirely necessary. It's entirely necessary because being just honest with people in the nicest way is the only way that people will get better, right? Even if they might suffer like a little guilt trip, or they might feel bad about themselves, but at the end of the day, they know and they realize they know the truth. So, it's like one of those things where if you fall, you can get back up. All right. It's not the end of the world. And that's what this is truly all about. So this was a nice little introduction for the YouTube, for the podcast. Welcome back. I've missed this. I'm excited to do this. I did like 2 episodes before this, and I had no idea what I was going to talk about. Completely honest, real talk. I started to put something together, and I was like, I don't want to talk about that, because it had to do with SEO, and I figured like, people get bored with it. So I went back to the drawing board again. I was like, what can I talk about? So thankfully, I have something that, again, could talk about for days, because I know that these are everyday struggles. It might come to a specific topic that you are running across, or it may have happened to you last week or something. I've been there. Believe me, I've been there. If you've ever gone through any life dramatic experience, it is up to you on what you decide to do with it next, right? For me, I didn't want to go down the wrong path after my incident. I didn't. I just wanted to veer right and get back to, obviously, everything that I enjoy doing. And when I say enjoy doing, yes, I enjoy getting up 3, 4 in the morning, going to the gym. I enjoy getting home and stretching for 45 to an hour. I enjoy meditating and stretching and getting my mind in the right place for the rest of the day. And then I enjoy doing SEO, internet marketing, for about 10 to 12 hours. I still break in between, obviously. I got a family, things to do. But, all these things, I enjoy doing it because it builds my character. It helps with all the discipline areas that we need to be in and embark on for a better journey and for a better life. So that being said, I appreciate you guys checking out the channels. Please be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channels, and comment below on the YouTube. And if you are listening in on the episode, be sure to check out AzRespes.com and leave a comment in the on the blog post. You can also check out AzRespes.com from YouTube also. I'm not going to discriminate against that. But again, appreciate you guys checking this out. Once again, this is the wizard they call Oz. And check you guys on another one.